Hey there, Latin 3. All right, so we are about to do conditional statements. This is the last grammar piece that I have to teach you. Everything else is in theory some sort of drive-by grammar, like I'll teach you a supinated form when you see it. But this is the last piece that I'm going to actually formally teach you. So a conditional statement, very simply, is an if-then statement. If you do this, then I do this. If I do this, then you do that. So on and so on. But, of course, it's not that simple. The if statement is called the protasis. The then statement is called the apodosis. Much better in Latin. Your book is of no help whatsoever. Ignore pages 158 and 159 in terms of the explanation. Do it my way, because the other way doesn't make sense. There are 6 levels of reality based on the tense and the mood of the actual verbs being used. 3 of these levels exist in the indicative and 3 exist in the subjunctive. The higher the level, the more likely the condition. So you can actually do what we do in English in tone. You can do, you can do through grammar. So that is how conditional statements work. So I'm going to show you the breakdown of the protasis and apodosis. So above this line are the indicatives. Okay, the first one is called the simple present. It takes the present indicative in the protasis and present indicative in the apodosis. Don't worry, there are examples coming. But the simple present, quite simply put, is the most likely. It's 90% likely. If I teach you this, then you learn it. Pretty likely. Underneath that is the simple past, okay? If I was teaching this, then you were paying attention. So it's dealing not quite in the reality that we're in, but it's dealing in a reality that has happened. So about 80% likely, okay? So either the perfect or the imperfect on both sides. The if-then statement, the protasis and the apodosis, for the future more vivid, abbreviated as FMV, is either going to be the future and the future perfect or the future and the future perfect. Okay? If you will do this, then I will do that. And about 60% likely because it is the future. Okay? So that helps you understand. Then you go below the line and you get to the future less vivid, which is in the present subjunctive, and the apodosis is also in the present subjunctive. FLV. Now this is a possible future, but not necessarily a likely future, maybe 40% likely, okay? The contrary to fact present, it will take the imperfect subjunctive in both the protasis and the apodosis. We abbreviate that as CTF present. And that is maybe 20% likely, like it's possible, but highly unlikely. And then the last one is the contrary to fact past. Okay, contrary to fact past is grammatically possible, but it is not, in fact, factually possible. And I'll show you some examples. The cool thing is you can actually use all of these conditions to throw shade at someone as far as a conditional statement. In the next video, I'm going to give you examples, but I want you to be able to digest that. Okay, and what I would like you to do actually for 67 little a is to write down all of the prompts for 67 little a, and all I want you to do is identify, just right next to it in the margin, what kind of a condition it is based on that. Don't translate it yet. Leave room to translate it, but just mark down what kind of condition it is based on what you see. If you ever see a mixed condition, go with whatever the protasis says, the if statement. That is going to rule what kind of condition it is, and you'll say like future more vivid mixed or something like that. So do 67 little a, just labeling according to that. And when you're done with that, go ahead and start up the next video where I give you examples. All right, I'm gonna hit the button.